Okay, folks, so just another quick update here on this mapper that had came through. And I had only noticed it on the 21st and the 22nd because on the 20th, and you can see here, I only uploaded one video on the 20th. Typically, I upload 2 to 3, sometimes more. But on the 20th, I had a horrific headache. The whole top of my head was just on fire, and I could feel my blood pressure was up. I had to take a little bit of time off from this whole, you know, computer and internet thing. And the only video that I was able to really get and upload was this quick little video of the geckos out back because I was, still trying to relax from the entire day having horrific headaches. And nothing would take care of it. I tried some ice packs that gave me just a little bit of relief, but it was horrible. And I know why now. I wondered why this little mapper hadn't finished the job when it came over on the 21st, and now I'm only able to track back 7 days here through the flight radar. But when I went back through the history for this particular little craft here, it had been through the day before. It had been through on the 20th. And I think it's kind of curious that it has this unknown status attached to it from the 20th. And when I go back to the playback on it, you can see this was the 20th. This was the day that I had to take a breather and a break from the whole internet scene and everything because the headache was just horrible. And there were times when I was feeling little tiny bouts of vertigo coming on. My ears were popping. I was getting static shocks off of everything. And this is why. And some of y'all can scoff and you can say that, whatever you want about it. And the fact that it says that it's unknown where it landed, I wonder where it landed, Flight Tracker Radar. I wonder where it landed. Henderson Executive Airport, okay? That's where I see a lot of these planes coming out of and into. And the fact that this flight it's highlighted like this for one, and it has an unknown status. And it was the day that I was experiencing some very extreme discomfort. I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't. And I think it's interesting that its status would be unknown on here, and then the same thing when it was over in California doing the same thing just north of San Francisco. And the reason why it didn't finish what it had done when I was tracking it, because it had left off up in here, and on the 21st it didn't come over our house. So I was like, oh well, thank goodness, but it had already been through the day before. And then this is the day after when it came over to the north of our location, over North Las Vegas, and did its little jig there. And there's where, when it came back, it didn't quite come down all the way to Henderson. So I wondered why it had left off and then continued on south and went over here into Arizona. And it's because it had already come through and gone directly over our location the day before. I was just too out of it. I couldn't deal with the discomfort and the pain in my freaking head. So, and again, because I'm repetitive, I have to say it again. I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't believe it is a coincidence. Now, why would that open up? Okay, well, that's just telling me that I need to cover this National Weather Modification report to Congress some more too, which I'm planning on, but I don't know why that would have popped up. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's not a coincidence, folks. And if I could go back, further than 7 days, I bet you I could find out that on the 15th as well, I was also having some really bad headaches. My ears were popping, bouts with vertigo and shit like that. And, I could tell too, my blood pressure was up a little bit as well. But who do I tell? Do you think I could go to a doctor and tell them what I was just speaking about? These are terrifying times when it comes to some of this stuff, folks. And I feel for all of the other people out there who are way more sensitive than I am to it, who are experiencing things and having health problems and issues, and their doctor just can't figure out what's wrong with them. So the doctor just keeps prescribing medications for them. And what if what some people are experiencing, like I was experiencing during this here last Friday? What if people are going through their doctors? What if I would have gone to my doctor, right? With this horrific headache. He would have run all of these tests, all of this shit, would have come to all of these different diagnoses and come to all of these different conclusions, not once even considering that it was attributed to this, being subjected to this right here. But instead, creating a diagnosis and issuing therapies that treating people for things that they shouldn't be getting treated for. I mean, imagine what if some of the most common ailments, even right down to just basic arthritis where our joints ache some days. What if there was actual medical doctors out there that were able to actually consider, take it into consideration that some of these common ailments that we're going to our doctors for and our doctors are prescribing medications for could have something to do with this? What if? Those are terrifying times.